What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are in reveal territory. We're in the reveal cycle for OP-10, and that means we can have a bunch of new cards to look at, and we do. So starting off with Tony Chopper. A card which is going to confuse people who have neither read the manga nor watched the anime. Because I can assure you, this most definitely is a Tony Chopper card, but it doesn't have to look a lot like Sanji now, doesn't it? And the answer is, very simply, what we're talking about here is Tony Chopper in Sanji's body. Yes, this was a thing that happened in the manga/anime. Yes, everyone got switched into new bodies. Yes, at this stage, I do think it is a very fair prediction to make that we're going to see a lot more of this. So right now, we got Tony Chopper in Sanji's body, but we are going to see a bunch of other permutations coming up, I'm assuming, in this set. Don't know for certain, but I feel fairly confident that we will. So what do we got here? Well, we got a 4-cost, 4,000 power, counter plus 2,000, and you've got blocker, and on your opponent's turn, this character gains 2,000 power. So vanilla characters are 4-cost, 6,000 power, counter plus 1,000. Well, this gains blocker, and is counter plus 2k, and is 6k on your opponent's turn. It's just only a 4k on your turn, which is a little bit sad, but another way to think about it is, it's a vanilla character with blocker, counter plus 2k, just don't attack with it on your turn. Boom, sorted. I really like this. Just, the stats work for me here. Counter plus 2k, good. 6k blocker on my opponent's turn, good. Sure, it's only a 4k on my turn, but I'm kind of willing to let that slide. I don't see a huge problem with this. I think this is honestly kind of awesome. So yeah, I'm a little bit excited about this one. Like, it's not a big flashy card, although the artwork is kind of awesome and confusing. But this stands a chance of being very heavily played in red decks. Counter plus 2k and a decent blocker, efficient stats-wise. Yeah, honestly, this seems really, really good for me. Just don't attack with it, and you'll be fine. What else has gone and been revealed? Well, we've got a new Dracul Mihawk, an Odyssey Dracul Mihawk, and a 7 Warlords of the Sea. And what we've got here is 5-cost, 6,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And on play, if you have 2 or more rested characters on the board, then you may activate a 5-cost or lower rested Odyssey character. Okay, cool. Now, this seems like a really good time to remind you about Lim, the leader from OP-10, because this is clearly designed for that leader. Firstly, it's an Odyssey card, and that's the only Odyssey leader we've had. But secondly, Lim's got that really annoying thing whereby all of your characters enter play rested, which is honestly really annoying. But you are going to have a bunch of rested characters with Lim. So the theory here is that you got a bunch of rested characters, so you can then play Dracul Mihawk. You'll have at least 2 rested characters, or you've attacked them or whatever. But it could just be low-cost characters you played this turn. And then you get to activate one of your 5-cost or lower Odyssey characters. And actually, at that point, yeah. Because now you're getting an extra use of one of your characters during your turn. Although annoyingly, what we're really looking for here is a really nice when attacking skill, but the only when attacking skill we've really got here is the Sabo from OP-09. When attacking, if you have 3 or more rested characters, draw a card, once per turn. That's actually super annoying. If we get a really good when attacking skill, then essentially using Mihawk here to activate one of your characters so that they can then get that when attacking skill again, yes! We're just not there at the moment, unfortunately, which is a little bit sad. We don't even have a vanilla 5-cost 7,000 power that we can use here, which is kind of annoying. But I suppose what we do have is, for instance, a 5-cost 6,000 power, We've got a couple of them. We've got a Monkey D. Luffy. We've got a Don Quixote do Flamingo. We've got the aforementioned Sabo. We've got a Sanji. So, look, you've got some you can activate here and then kind of go from there. It's not perfect. Maybe we'll get a better one down the line. But even just getting another attack with a 6k character, that could be pretty good as well. We've also got ourselves a new Cavendish. Blue Dressrosa Cavendish. Oh, hang on a second. Would you look at that? Because, of course, if we remind ourselves about the leaders in this set, we do, of course, have a Dressrosa leader, a blue Dressrosa leader. It is, of course, Usopp. And I'm not a huge Usopp fan as a character, but I do like this new leader, and I like that we got a proper non-cut from a magazine image of it right now. And so look, here this is a Dressrosa character, so yeah, this is kind of cool. And it says, you know, all of your cost 2 or higher Dressrosa characters get cost +1 when they're in play. They don't cost more to actually play. So that's going to give you a little bit of extra protection when you're on the board. And what we've got from Cavendish here is when attacking, once per turn, draw 2, trash 1 from your hand. Yeah, I love this. This is really good. Honestly, this looks really, really fun. Something worth getting a little bit excited about. Like, it's not some kind of, like, super exciting character. Essentially, they've taken off the counter, 4 cost, 6,000 power, no counter, and then they've given you a bit of a draw engine. But it's a when attacking draw engine. You end up with +1 cards because you're drawing 2, trash in 1. So you end up with +1 card in hand, and you get to do this every turn when you attack. Love it. Big fan. And given that I gave you a fake Sanji earlier, why don't we finish off with a real Sanji, a Vinsmoke Sanji, which seems to be telling us something we didn't know before, that they're actually going to be doing new Germa cards in this set. This was not something that was hinted at by the leaders. It was not something for which we were previously prepared. Maybe it's just going to be Sanji and they're not going to do any others. I rather suspect there might be some others as we go along. But for the time being, we do at least have Sanji. And Sanji is a generic Germa searcher. That is to say, we've got 1 cost 2,000 power, counter +1,000. And on play, if your leader is a Germa leader, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a Germa card, add it to your hand, and put the rest at the bottom of the card deck in any order you like. One thing that is important, a lot of the time these generic searchers say, other than the character you're playing. Doesn't say that here. It just says, find a Germa card, add it to your hand, and then afterwards put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order that you like. So, yeah, we've got a generic searcher for Germa. And look, Reiju, I'm not going to sit here and pretend it is the best deck in the format, because I don't think it is the best deck in the format, and we do not have any kind of data to suggest that it is the best deck in the format. But it doesn't have to be the best deck in the format to be a good deck, to be a viable deck. Now, right now, if we have a look at the metagame, it's the 9th biggest deck in the meta according to Limitless. It's got 2% of the meta. So, I'm not saying it's some kind of, like, phenomenal Uber deck. But I'm saying it's viable, and, you know, on your turn, once per turn, when a Don card on your field is returned to your Don deck, draw a card. Seems like it could be quite good. Seen a bunch of play in the past, and look, that is a deck that plays a lot of Germa cards. Now, obviously, you're still going to be playing stuff like Black Maria, because, you know, we're not stupid. But things like, well, the small Niji and the big Niji, and the small Ichiji and the big Ichiji, the small Reiju and the big Reiju, because the small ones all have a skill whereby you can essentially swap the small one for the big one to get your bigger cards out a little bit faster. So I'm just saying there is a chance here. And there's a chance before we get to OP-10. That's the point I'm making here. There is a chance for this to be good before we get to OP-10. Now we've got a generic searcher in Sanji, which is something we didn't have before. And you do kind of need to get the big and the little Vinsmoke family cards from your hand, or from the trash, but you still need to get them in the trash initially. So I'm just saying, this could give a little bit of extra consistency to a deck that was viable, but not yet absolutely stunning, decent, but not game-breaking. And I'm telling you, there's a chance. So there we go, bunch of new cards from OP-10, and now that we seem to be in the reveal cycle for OP-10, I do feel like this is just gonna speed up from here, and we're going to be seeing a lot more cards as we go along, and you know the deal at this stage. I'm pretty in on One Piece, to put it mildly. So when these cards are revealed, when we have this information, when there are things to be talked about, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to talk about it. But for now, I want to know what you think about real Sanji, fake Sanji, and the other cards we've looked at in this video. So tell me about all of them in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.